where we sit down with our top senior management people, and we would review from the middle management onwards how they are preparing people for succession. And we have to identify people with potential early. We might at times need to fast track them up the career ladder. We also need to provide exposure training to them, because somebody might have the potential to move on, but then you need to have the right people at the right place with the right quality at the right time. And having the right quality is very important. So we need to make sure that colleagues would know their whole spectrum of their business before they're being put up. And also, you need not only to look at those with potential, you also have to look after those with a little bit less potential, because one single person cannot operate one organization. So you need to rally even those who might not make it to the top, but you have to motivate them as well.
Okay, thank you. Well, I want Paul Chung to also address this question about successor, and because you already told us that you are not that deep involved with the business. So how you prepare your successor, while I pass around the questions to the other guests. Yes.
Well, we have a philosophy based on 3 things and a platform. DHL is such a wide and also just a big network. One thing we know is we need a lot of people coming up the rank. So we have a human resource policy. It's in 3 points. Number 1, push decision to the lowest level. That means the courier, the supervisor, the managers, the city managers, the country managers, they will not kick decision up if they can make it. In fact, it's not empowerment. Empowerment means this is mine and I'm giving it to you so that you can use it for the time being. That's empowerment. We actively push it down and say, this is yours. You better make the decision. Because if you ask too many times how to do it, what you should do, then you're no good for the job. Now, that one actually groom decision makers, and fast trackers will flow to the top. By the time we pick the next guy to come up, everybody around him already say, yeah, that's the guy to come up. That's number 1. Number 2 is strategic thinking can be taught and must be taught to all levels of management, so that they know that giving them the decision, the power of making decision is like giving them a gun. You have to tell them what a target looks like so that they don't shoot themselves in the foot. Right? So by understanding the strategy of the company of that year, or of that country of that year, that city of that year, that means they know, they share in a lot of companies, only the senior people is expect to understand and know the strategy. We're not. Number 3 is it make it a safe place for people to make mistakes. We have one saying, you can make any mistake once, but tell everybody about it. Because a lot of companies say 0 tolerance. That actually is the most stupid thing that you can think of, because you think there's no mistake. It's actually they don't tell you, that's all. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And then the courier and the courier daily performance changes so fast that something is okay for Jakarta on day 1 is not okay on day 3, and something happening in Venezuela, you have to stop shipping and so on. Then what you do is during lunchtime, everybody say, you know what? I think something very stupid this morning. So the 6 people having lunch or 10 people having lunch actually learn about that mistake. If you don't tell your mistake, 10 people would make 19 mistakes. But if you share your mistake, 10 people would make 10 mistakes, and that's it, because the mistake stops there. And that's how we train our successors, is just push them until they usually a courier would see every problem within 3 years. That's the kind of variety of problems that we have. And if you don't share it, the same people, the same garbage just slid back and forth. And the other, of course, we still go back to my original thing. You have to have people who can trust, generate trust. We hire people that we can trust. We hire people that other people can trust. And you can always hire people who can do things. Right? Yeah. But you need to hire people that other people respect and trust. Then they will contribute and they will work, support that person with their heart and their soul. And that's how we pick.
Thank you.
Groom leaders.
Thank you.
And pick leaders.
Okay. We end the first part of this plenary section. Let's give an applause for this gentleman for their wisdom that they share. The second part of this forum is actually we're opening the forum, and we received quite a number of good questions, and I would like this gentleman to address. How about Dean? You give
okay, so the first question is, in spite of all the mentioned qualities for the leaders of the future, what are the qualities of a leader that are classic and would withstand the change of time? And then secondly, how would you cultivate those values in young leaders? So I can't do better than the 13 that my colleague listed earlier, but some of the old standbys would include vision, integrity, authenticity, responsibility, courage, curiosity, humility, values, purpose-driven leaders. How do we encourage those qualities in this next generation? I think we expose them to values in an explicit and an aggressive way, where we're not apologetic about, we're so committed to helping this next generation to succeed. We also want them to lead lives of significance, and I don't think we should be ashamed or embarrassed to help them understand their responsibilities to be wise stewards, to leave the place better than they found it. But on balance, I would say as an educator that in looking at this next generation has a good deal of these assets latent in them. They want to do good as well as doing well. In America, it's as competitive to enter an organization, an NGO, an exciting new nonprofit called Teach for America, as it is to get into the Harvard Business School or the Wharton School of Business, which is a startling development in America, because the best and the brightest were going exclusively to Wall Street. Now they want to go into the inner cities of America to repair the damage that's been done in America. So I think this next generation intuitively wants to be purpose-driven. They want to be respected. They want to be engaged. And I'm hopeful that they'll be more responsible leaders than we've been.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dean Jackson. Okay. So for the next 3 gentlemen, each one of you will have 1 to 2 minutes to take response to the question you have.
Mr. Po Chung highlighted the importance of moral values in leadership. How does one go about promoting this concept in an organization? Number 1, you have to be the example. So you have to act it out. You be the change that you want to be. So being is the most important thing. Otherwise, you say, do what I say, don't do what I do, then your authenticity, your authenticity and your credibility and your trust is all gone. I mean, you just kind of wipe it out. The other one is